Mayor Bob, welcome back. Mayor's Monday here at WSAU, WSAU.com.
It's amazing how fast a month goes, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, we're already here at the end of August, middle of August. I mean, football season is starting up
Which
here.
is a good thing. Football season is starting, but we also know what might be coming here in a few months. So enjoy the heat while we can, as you can see. So
But that's a badge that you're wearing with honor today, because
especially.
I mean, look at what's in the background here behind us. Look what's over here to my left, to your right. This thing has finally become a reality down here by the riverfront. As we take a page from Mayor Zach's playbook today. Do this on location.
And Zach's a good guy. No, this is something that's been in the works for a very long time. A lot of folks had that future vision, if you will, of the city. And to see it come to fruition after all these years, because just remember, folks, what this area looked like a little over 3 years ago. Abandoned buildings, abandoned warehouses, contaminated soil. It was a criminal activity. We don't have that down here now. And with the opening of the new park, it's just transforming the area. Wausau has rediscovered its waterfront, just like so many other cities have here in Wisconsin and across the nation. The good news is you've got the park started now. You've got 300 yards down. That project, as far as the phase one for the condominiums and the Riverlight project, is starting back up again. You watch what happens here on the north end underneath Bridge Street in the next 5 to 10 years, and the transformation, that future vision of the city. It's exciting. It's a great time to be here in Wausau. It's part of that economic growth and development, which we got 3 record years now of doing. This is just a very good time to be here as a resident of the city of Wausau.
Absolutely. We talked about the park last week a little bit. You mentioned the River Life development in the condominiums and the housing portion of the project. What can you tell us about that right now? Do you have an update of a timeline as to when we may see some dirt moving on that site?
Actually, they've been cleaning it up here the last couple of weeks. They're going to be starting on it here pretty soon. They're still waiting for one thing from the state, which should be coming later on this week, and then they're going to start doing construction, and they'll be doing it throughout the winter. Everything, if it goes right, will be ready sometime next year.
And we talked about it as well at the news conference a few weeks ago. As far as the leasing goes, what exactly is that project going to entail right now? Are they moving forward with commercial at this time, or are we kind of focusing on residential right now?
Basically focusing on residential with the option as far as some commercial. There's different players involved, if you want to call it that. We're going to see what happens, but basically at this point it's going to be basically residential with an option for a phase 2 to start later on next year with the completion of the first park. And then further down the road with different properties, think about it, Wausau Chemical, Great Lakes Cheese, the Wausau Water Utility, these are going to be out of here within the next 2 years or so. Again, the area is going to be transformed, and it's going to be all different types of housing. This is something that Wausau needs. It's going to create a bigger tax base for the city, but more importantly, businesses keep looking at Wausau. A few years ago, they did not do that. They're looking at Wausau now to come. They're selling it and marketing it to professionals to come to the area of all different ages. And I've said this before, everybody is welcome here. As long as you're contributing in a decent way, I want people to come here and feel welcome. It's a good time to be in Wausau. I can't stress that enough. It's a lot of positive energy. I cannot say enough good things about our city staff, our city councils. We've all worked together, the contractors, the donors involved, to make this come to fruition. And again, when you just see the transformation in a little over 3 years, this is just a start. Wait until you see it in the next couple of years. It'll be unbelievable.
You mentioned the mix of housing that you talked about for some of these sites over here would be to our west. Talk about what you would like to see there. I know you've done the studies of what the housing needs in Wausau are. High-end apartments, single-family homes. What would you like to see in that area over the next 3 or 4 years?
I'd like to see a mixture, if you will, affordable housing, but then higher-end housing as well. That seems to be the big call as far as the marketing and the studies that have been completed the last couple of years. We've got a lot of different plans, be it for the riverfront, for the downtown, for the towers area, the comprehensive plan, and a lot of these things over the last couple of years we've updated a lot of this stuff. Our comprehensive plan hadn't been updated since 2003. Our zoning plan hadn't been updated since 1967. And over the course of the last couple of years we've updated about 12 to 13 different plans. So the city of Wausau is in very good hands as far as our future. Again, it's just one of those things that it's something that needed to be done, be caught up. It's a great time to be here, and like I said before, the transformation is going to be incredible. You watch Wausau here, the best is yet to come.
Absolutely. Talking about moving on now to some of the other things that have been happening here in the last few weeks. First off, news that the Wausau Center Mall is officially on the selling block.
After some prodding from the city, and I gave a speech last week about it at Economic Development, after some very strong encouragement from the city, basically it was in essence like, look, if you're not going to invest in the future of our city, please sell the building to somebody that will. Also to remind people, we do not own the building. We do not run it, so to speak. We've got a limited say in it, but in order for it to move forward, there's local interest in that development, which I think would be outstanding. The city will help out to an extent, but it's got to be more of a private investment, if you will. I've said this numerous times, it's a very viable building, but the days of the retail setting, that's gone. It's an Amazon world. But that building can be transformed into different things. And it just seems the last couple of years, whenever somebody has wanted to bring something forward, it's always been on the city's part to try to get some interest or something going. And we will continue to help out, but to a limited extent.
What have you heard then as far as the interest in that mall? I mean, obviously we don't know exactly what they're asking for a sale price. From what I understand, it's almost like an RFP type process that they're going through. But you mentioned some local interest in there.
It's a little early to say. It's a little early to say. I know there's local interest in there, which is something I really encourage, because those local investors are definitely going to take care of the city better than some others might have been in the national scene like had been happening. Again, it's a very viable building and something that needs to be transformed, and the city will help to an extent. But, we're moving forward. It's something that's been in the works for a long time, and we're limited as far as what the city can do because, again, we do not own the facility. We do own the parking structures and the land underneath it. It's a little too early as far as mentioning some folks that are interested, but I do anticipate it might be a fairly quick sale, maybe sometime here, late summer, early fall. We'll see what happens. But there's movement on it finally, which is a good thing.
Absolutely, because that's something that you kind of mentioned there at the start. Everybody is welcome in Wausau as long as they're contributing. That was the one thing I was going to say. Well, it seems like the owners of the Wausau Center Mall have not exactly been on that list as of late.
You'll get no argument from me on that, but you know what? That's going to be in the past, and my thing is I'm always optimistic and positive, and we got to move forward, which we are doing.
One other thing I wanted to ask you about in there, you mentioned there could be some investment from the city. Is it too early to tell at this time just exactly how much that would be? I mean, are we looking at another maybe $2 million like what was the investment for River Life, the housing portion?
It's way too early. And, I'm kind of guarded on that because, again, I think this has got to be the majority of it a private investment. Private investors are going to be able to do what they want to do to transform it. Again, the city is going to have a say in it, I'd like to think, and we're willing to help out where we can. But I think the private development could possibly do that building better than what the city ever could, and I'm a little reluctant as far as making a big commitment on the city's end. Again, we will help out to an extent. It remains to be determined as far as how much and what we're going to do. But we do encourage the redevelopment of the mall. We have been, it seems the city has been the only one the last couple of years, and now it looks like that's finally moving forward.
Absolutely. One more thing before we let you go then. It's kind of came to fruition last week during economic developments and various reports surfaced that a gentleman that the city had done business with in the past has somehow resurfaced here in Wausau with word that Mike Francis bought the ABC building. What does the city know about that at this point? And I'm guessing this is something else you would want residents to know. Is the city being involved in that transaction at all, or jumping back?
And as I said way back then, a year or so ago, when things did not work out with Mr. Franz, while I wish him well, the city will not work with him again. I'm not going to get burned twice. And again, if he's bought that building and purchased it and has plans for it, great. It'll be very limited city involvement. But again, the ABC building is something that needs to be removed. It's not fitting in down here. It's part of that vision, if you will, as far as things we'd like to see there. But since we don't own the facility or the building, we're kind of limited, I guess, as far as what we can say at this time. But no, there's not going to be a lot of city investment or contribution, if you will, to that facility.
So not had any discussions with him. You don't know what
No.
any of his plans for that
No.
could be at all.
I don't.
Any idea what you might like to see go in there at some point?
If I had my choice, I guess maybe some commercial development, but that's a little early to talk about right now. It's taken us 3.5 years to get this area going. It's something a little further down the road. If Mr. Franz is willing to contribute in a good, positive way, great. But as I said before, the city involvement in that sale is going to be kind of limited. So
If he calls City Hall, then the phone is still on, or
oh sure, we'll always chat, but
yeah,
we're going to be very guarded. Is the nicest way I'm going to put it. Very diplomatic on my part.
absolutely. Anything else that you'd like to add then, as before we?
It's a great day in Wausau. It's a great time to be here and be a citizen. As I've said before, the best is yet to come, folks. You're going to see the riverfront in different areas downtown, hopefully in the next couple of years. The transformation will be incredible. It'll be unbelievable, and it'll be something really positive that the city has needed for a long time, and we've finally gotten a lot of it done.
Absolutely, it looks absolutely fantastic. Over here, Mayor Mielke, again, we congratulate you. I know you just got back from vacation as well, so we welcome you back
Thank
there.
you.
I'm gonna
First
be
one.
I'm gonna be heading out this weekend, so when I come back, I'm gonna hope that all these plans that you have come to fruition. When I come back here in 9 days, I'm gonna expect to see the third one.
We'll see what happens.
All
Thank
right.
you, Michael.
Yeah.
Take care, Wausau.